Hi, welcome to MS Excel tutorial. In this part, we will be discussing about different basic features of MS Excel along with parts of MS Excel window. In MS Excel, the file of Excel is called workbook, and each workbook or each Excel file will have number of worksheets, or we also call them as spreadsheets. The number of workbooks and number of worksheets will be unlimited depending on memory of computer. As long as your memory is supporting, you can add more number of Excel files. You can add number of worksheets in each Excel file or Excel workbook. The total number of rows are 10,48,576 and the number of columns are 16,384. The column width is 255. The number that we can give for column width is 255 in maximum, and each cell is capable of storing 32,767 characters. The value that we can give maximum for row height is 409, and as we discussed already, number of workbooks and number of worksheets can be extended as long as your memory is supported. Now coming to parts of MS Excel window, on the top of Excel sheet we have quick access toolbar. This quick access toolbar, this is called quick access toolbar. The quick access toolbar is useful for placing options which are used regularly. Instead of searching for those options in different tabs of MS Excel, the options which are used regularly will be placed in quick access toolbar. You take example of insert function. I have to simply click on add and I have to click on OK. From the next time, instead of searching for it in formula bar and clicking on that option, if I am in home tab, suppose if I select home tab, I can directly use insert function option. Most commonly used or regularly used options of MS Excel will be generally placed in this quick access toolbar. So the file name will be visible on the top. We call this as title bar. We can search for different options by using Microsoft Search. On the top, we have name of the user, right? Again, here we have different options. What is this option exactly? This is ribbon display option. Okay, whether auto hiding of ribbon, it is already in auto hide, right? Even the tab bar also will be hidden. Show tabs, only tabs will be displayed, and show tabs and commands. We use shortcuts like Control F1 for hiding the ribbon, Control Shift F1 for hiding the tabs. Again, Control Shift F1 will display the tab. Control F1 will display the ribbon. These are the different shortcuts we have for ribbon display options. After that, we have minimize, maximize and close buttons. Minimize for placing the window at taskbar. This is called, the down one is called taskbar. Okay. Restore next available size and maximize state and close button. We can also give comments and we can share this file by using mail and different other MS Office options. So coming to other important parts, we completed our discussion about quick access toolbar, right? Quick access toolbar. We also completed our discussion about the title bar. Our name of the document will be displayed at title bar, the username and ribbon display options, and we discussed about the shortcuts like Control F1, Control Shift F1, minimize, maximize, close. These are called control buttons. Coming to the next option in parts of Excel window, the top here we have file, home, insert, page layout. All these are called tabs of Excel. All these are called tabs of Excel. The options of each tab will be displayed in a bar here. These are displayed here. This is called ribbon. Each tab will have ribbon displaying options associated with it. So these are called tabs, and options of each tab are displayed in a ribbon. Okay. After that, we have name box here. What is name box? Based on the cell that I select, the selected cell address will be displayed in name box. The selected cell address will be displayed in name box. Okay. After that, we have formula bar. Here we can see formula bar. What is this? Formula bar. We have insert function option here. We have enter and cancel options here. Okay. This is about name box, insert function and formula bar. On the top of Excel worksheet, here we have A, B, C and all. These are called columns. 16,384 columns are supported in Microsoft Excel 2016, and these 1, 2, 3 are called rows. The rows are represented with numbers and columns are represented with alphabets. Okay. When we select this, the total worksheet will get selected. This option allows us to select the total worksheet. What we can see at the bottom, this is called leaf bar. This is called leaf bar. These are called rows, we discussed already, and these are called columns. Okay, column bar and row bar. And row bar will contain names or labels of all the rows. Column bar will contain names or labels of all the columns. Next, we have cell. What is cell? This is cell. Okay. Each combination of row and column is called cell. Suppose now I am at A8. The address of the cell is identified with combination of alphabet and row number. So now as I am selecting this, it is in B and ninth row. The address of this is B9. Okay. These addresses will play an important role in writing formulas. On the downside, you can see ready, accessibility and all. All these are displaying the status, that is called status bar. And here we have view buttons. Normal. Now I am in normal view. Okay, normal views. The second one is page layout view. When I click on page layout view, the total content will be divided into number of pages. Okay. And the third one is page break view. So instead of dividing the pages separately and showing them separately in pages, each page will be separated by a demarcation line by using this third view option, that is page break view. Here we have zooming option, which allows us, instead of increasing the size actually on Excel sheet, just for viewing purpose, we can increase the size or decrease the size by using this zoom option. And here we have vertical scroll bar, and on the downside we have horizontal scroll bar. Horizontal scroll bar and vertical scroll bar are useful for movement in Excel sheet from top to bottom and left to right or right to left. Horizontal and vertical scroll bars are useful for movement in different direction. This is about parts of MS Excel window. Thank you. Hi, welcome to Excel tutorial. In this part, we will be discussing about options in File tab. In File tab of Microsoft Excel, Home or File menu, same. In this, we have new option which allows us to open a new blank workbook, or we can also take workbook from different templates available with the Excel. Generally, as beginner, we start with blank workbook. So after having a complete idea, after understanding the purpose of entering and managing the data in Microsoft Excel, based on your requirement, you can go for use of different types of templates available here. These templates will automate your task of designing and all. So depending on your requirement, you can go and use different templates available in Microsoft Excel along with the new option. Then this open option is useful for opening existing Excel files, okay, which are already saved in computer, and they are stored in, as they are stored in different locations, you can search for them and you can open them, right? Next, information, info, right? Protecting the workbook, giving password to it, inspecting the workbook. So version history, manage workbook, different options related to this, and the size of it, and all the options related to the file or workbook will be displayed here. Along with this, we have options like upload, share, copy path. Okay, the path in which the file is stored, all the path can be copied. Open file location, the location in which the file is located, we can open that. All this information about the file will be available in info option. The save option is useful for saving the changes permanently, whereas save as option will be useful for saving the file with the different format or saving the file in another location. The next option is print. We can print the information in the file. The share option will allow us to share the file by using Microsoft Outlook. Exporting a file can be also done. We can create a PDF document. We can change the file type by using export option. Publishing can be done. Publish to Power BI. Power BI is one of the important data analytics tool. We can upload it or we can also export it into Power BI. Close. It will close the worksheet, and in this manner we have different options. I'm taking the blank workbook, right? Account, Microsoft account, feedback and options. These are the different options we have in file tab of Microsoft Excel. Thank you. Hi, welcome to Microsoft Excel tutorial. In this part, we will be discussing about home tab options. The home tab options are displayed in the ribbon below it. We have parts like clipboard, font, alignment, number, styles, cells, editing, and analysis. These are the different parts in Microsoft Excel Home tab ribbon. So let's see the first part now, clipboard. What is clipboard? It is the buffer space which stores data after cut and copy operation. I'm just opening clipboard. When we perform copy or cut options, they will be stored in Office clipboard up to 24 items. Whenever we click on paste in Microsoft Excel worksheet, the data will be fetched. The data will be fetched from clipboard and it will be pasted in the document. The cut option is useful for moving the text from one location to another location, whereas the copy option is useful for duplication of text. Okay, cut for moving the text from one location to another, copy for duplication of text. After cut and copy, we have to use the paste option for placing the information or object in the document. Now the next option in clipboard group is Format Painter. What this Format Painter will do is, suppose take one example. Here the color of this cell is different and this cell is different. The colors of these two cells are different. Now I am simply copying this cell. The cell is C2. C2 cell is selected and Format Painter is selected. After selecting the Format Painter, on the next cell that I click, that format is applied. Now the color is changed. It is just like paintbrush. If you select paintbrush and if you select a color and if you apply it in any cell, on any cell, automatically the format of that cell will be also changed. This is about clipboard group. The next group is font group. In font group, the first option is font. We can select different font styles and we can change the font based on our requirement. After that, we have sizes, font sizes from 8 to 72. And these are the two options like increase font and decrease font. Okay. The automatic increment of font and automatic decrement of font. Here grow font and shrink font options are available. Increase the font size and decrease the font size options. Then underline option U. The next option is borders option. We can give different kinds of border. Generally we give all borders when we think about giving borders to all the cells that we select. There are different options for giving border. We also have options like draw border grid, line color, line style. These are different options available and we can check them and we can use them. Different border styles are here and we can give different border styles like, okay. To come out of it, just click on escape. Then for filling a cell with a particular color, you can use this option. For changing the font color, this is font color option. This is about font group. The next group is alignment group. Left alignment, center alignment. When the cell size is large, we can also go for use of center alignment, okay, top alignment and bottom alignment. These are the different options we have about alignment. We can also change the direction of text, okay. Suppose if I give 45 degrees, okay, it comes in the angle of 45, right? Then we also can adjust indent from the margin or space we leave from edge of the cell can be adjusted. When the cell content is not enough for the size of the cell, now you take this as example. Now the remaining content in the cell is not visible. In such case, when I click on wrap text, automatically the adjustment of cell will be done. The size of the cell will be adjusted to fit the text. Okay. When we think about merging one or more cells, merge and center. Okay. The two cells are combined and single cell is created. This is about alignment group. The next group is number group. Suppose if I enter marks here, or I am taking it as amount, right? Based on different formats available like number, currency, accounting means zeros will be added, 0.00 will be added, short date, long date, right? Time, percentage. These are based on the data that you are going to enter in a particular column or particular row. You have to select. Suppose if I enter only amount here, so I will select currency. Okay. Automatically, when I select this column, currency will be selected. In the next cell, suppose if I enter, suppose in this cell I am entering serial number. So here I can select number. Whenever I select this, what will happen? Number format. I can go for increase of decimal point or decrease of decimal point. So this is the case. I can also go for comma style. Suppose if my amount is 10,000. So automatically it is in currency format. So rupee symbol is already added preceded by rupee symbol. 10,000 was preceded by rupee symbol. And here I have different currencies available in Excel and I can use any of the currency depending on my data requirement. And I can also go for decrease or increasing of decimal points, right? If I want comma or removing or placing comma as it is amount, it is already having that. If it is not there, I can also add commas to my values. Right? Currency I'm adding again, rupee symbol is added. So percentile is also applicable. This is also percentile option is also used, right? Depending on data, we can use this. This is about number group. Next, coming to conditional styles group. In conditional formatting, suppose if I take this as example, in conditional formatting, highlight cell rules will be there. What kind of formatting is to be done when a value is greater than a particular specified value, less than, between. There are different considerations and conditions for highlight cell rules in conditional formatting. The top bottom rules, top 10 item, top 10 percentiles, these all top data bars. Depending on value, the data bars will be adjusted from maximum to least for the data. We can also go for use of different color scales, right? And all these options are available in a conditional format. Suppose if I select this and if I use highlight cell rules greater than, when the value is greater than 5,000, okay, for all the values in D column, they should have red text. Previously we had black text. Now we are going for replacing it. When the value is above 5,000, it has to be replaced with red text. I'm simply clicking on it. So 10,000, 4,000. This is also currency. It is in black color. Again, I'm entering 5,454. Again, it is in red color. In this manner, conditional, based on the condition, the formatting can be specified in different ways like highlight cell rules, top bottom rules, top 10 items, top 10 percentile, bottom 10 percentage, above average and below average. Data bars, based on the value, the highest value will have larger data bar and the small value will have small data bar. These are the different options. Then format as table. For format as table option, I have to select the cells by which I have to create a table. I have to click on the particular format for my table. This create table dialog box will be opened. I have to simply click on OK. Then the table is created. Next, cell styles. Different cell styles will be available based on our requirement. We can go for use of different type of cell styles in Excel. Then insertion of cells. Suppose if I think about insertion of cell here, I can insert cell. Okay. Entire row. I can insert row. I can insert cells. I can insert columns. I can also insert a worksheet. These are the different options in insert. Delete also the same. In delete option also, delete cells, delete sheet rows, delete sheet columns, delete sheet are the options. In format, we can adjust the row height. Now it is 31.2. If I give 25, it will be reduced. If I give it as 10, the selected cells. If I select the total cells and if I click on row height as 15, what will happen? All the cell size is reduced. Now I am giving it as 25. Now it is increased. Now I am increasing it as 35. Now it is even bigger. In this manner, row height. Now This is the best option, auto fit row height. Based on the data and size of it, automatically the adjustment will be done. Auto fit row height and auto fit column width, right? We can also specify column width externally. Otherwise, we can also go for use of auto fit column width. Default width can be also selected. That is default width. We can hide rows. We can hide rows, columns, sheet. The different kinds of hide and unhide options will be available here. Different options related to rename, moving, copying. All these options are available in format group or format option of cells group. Then editing, auto sum options. Sum, average, count, max, min are available in auto sum. We will be discussing these functions in Excel functions videos. We have them in our channel. Then filling. So fill down, right, up and left. What is this filling? Suppose if I type 10, if I select all the cells to the downside, if I select down, what will happen? All the cells to the downside will be filled with 10. If I select right, what will happen? All the cells towards the right will get selected. Suppose if I type 10 here, if I select all the cells to the top, and if I click on fill up, what will happen? All the cells to the top will be filled with 10. This is about autofill option. Fill down, right, up and left. We can also go for use of series also. Okay. Suppose 10, 11, right? I'm selecting all the cells. I'm clicking on cell series. Column step value 1, stop value 20. Okay. So in the selected cells, series is also filled. If I think about clearing everything, clear all, clear formats, clear contents, clear hyperlinks. Clearing options are available here. Then sort and filter. What is sorting? Arranging in proper ascending order and descending order. Smallest to largest or largest to smallest. So what I am doing here, I am going for largest to smallest. You can see now. I am going for smallest to largest. It is changed now. Filter allows us to display only the data that is required for us. I can hide it, I can filter it. When it is required, I can see that again. This is about filter. Find and select. Find, if I think about finding a particular data in Excel sheet, that I can do it with find option, that is Control F is the shortcut for it. If I think about replacing 10, I have to simply click on replace, find what 10, replace with 20. I have to simply click on replace all for replacing all the 12 places where 10 is present, they're replaced with 20. Then go to. We can go to different regions, current region, objects, okay, last cell, right, nodes, constants, formulas, right, visible cells, okay, conditional formats, okay, data validation. So I'm going for conditional formats. So where conditional formatting is available, I went there. Different special places can be reached directly without searching or wasting too much of time on them by using this go to special or go to option. Then we have formulas, right? Nodes, conditional formatting, constants, data validation. If they are present, we can find them and we can select them. Last group is analysis group. We have to select the data and we have to click on analyze the data. Automatically the data will be analyzed and it will be represented in table format, and different graphical formats and graphs. This is about Home tab of Microsoft Excel. Thank you. Hi, welcome to MS Excel tutorial. In this part, we will be discussing about Insert tab. In Insert tab, we have different parts like tables, illustrations, add-ins, charts, tours, spark lines, filters, links, comments, and in the last part, we have text and symbols. These are the different groups we have in Excel Insert tab. Now, the first option. What is the first option? Pivot table. The use of pivot table is it summarizes the complex data into simple data sets. Our understanding of data will be better after applying pivot tables on a large data set. The data which is so large, I just considered a small table here, but when we consider large data sets, the summarized data, if you take example of 1000 rows, if you take example of a data with more than 2000 rows, in such cases, summarization of data will play an important role. During such cases, the pivot table option is the best option for summarizing and analyzing the complex data sets or large data sets. Let's see one example of using pivot table. Here we have fields like year, type of matches or type of match, batsman, runs, matches, tournaments, state and country. So we have just a list of few players like Dravid, Yuvraj, Dhoni, Sachin Tendulkar, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. Suppose we have all the players who represented India. Along with that, we have their states, we have number of tournaments played, we have type of match like whether it is T20, one day text or domestic. We have all these details in the table. Now, when we try to, we have two options in creation of pivot table. The pivot table can be created within the same sheet, or we can also create that in new sheet also, new Excel worksheet. So before we create pivot table, it is important to remember that the pivot table can be created from the selected data set. Okay, we can also select a table. Now the table is selected. Now I am clicking on existing worksheet. Instead of considering a new worksheet, first I am clicking on existing worksheet so that I can see the pivot table here itself. As this is little bit difficult for dragging and dropping, I'm just changing the pattern in which this pivot table selection is displayed. Okay, the pattern in which the selection has to be done can be simplified by using settings here. Okay, how you want to see it, that this is the previous format. Now I just changed it to fields beside all these areas like filters, rows, columns and all. Now what I want to do is I want to take example that I want to see the total runs made by each player. I want to see highest runs among all the players. I want to see different kinds of analysis and data. Okay. For this, what I can do is I'm selecting runs in values. Okay. Runs in values and rows. I'm selecting batsman. Okay. And it should be filtered by type of tournaments. Okay. A type of match. And this is the filter I'm applying. Now, when I close this, what I can see? Dhoni, sum of runs, Dravid, total sum of runs, even though they are here, they are from different formats. Now, what happened? The summarized data, how many runs Dhoni. If we double click on it, we can see the data, how many runs they scored. Okay. If we summarize and search, double click on this, we see the data related to Sachin Tendulkar. Clear? And we are getting a separate sheet with that data also. This is the power of pivot table. Okay. In this manner, summarized data can be created. What we have to do, simply we have to go to insert, right? We have to click on pivot table. In this manner, I can create pivot table. Okay, pivot table summarizes data. It also displays grand table. The more detailed explanation of pivot table will be done in a separate video. Okay. Now this table is created by us, right? With the type of matches. If I go for 1 day, what will happen? Only 1 day data. Text matches. Only test match values, right? If I select all the data of all, in this manner, the summarized data from a large data set can be created by using pivot table. Suppose if you are a beginner, for the first time you are working with pivot table, you don't have any idea about how to use filter, how to use rows, how to use values and all, then you can go for recommended pivot tables. Okay, from the given data set. Okay, from the given data set of this, right? I'm selecting the field. From this given data set, what are the recommended pivot tables? Okay, domestic, how many runs scored, right? Total, how many domestic matches played, right? We can see some of them. How many tournaments played by Dhoni, right? How many runs scored by Dhoni. In this manner, we have predefined formats, right? Predefined pivot tables which can be selected directly, right? And runs scored by each state player and by playing number of matches. All these are selected by the system itself. The Excel engine itself selected different pivot tables format for us. If any one of these pivot tables are useful to us, we can directly take them. I am taking this. Okay, I'm just simply clicking on it. Okay, that's done. A new table is created which is showing how many matches played by Dhoni and how many runs he scored. Okay, in this manner, we can create pivot tables and we can summarize data by using pivot table option and a recommended pivot table option. Now, we have to remember three important rules. We have to remember three important rules while we create this pivot table. So, what are these three rules? Rule number one. What is rule number one? The data must have headings. Okay. Headings are compulsory. Okay. Like you can see year, type of match, batsman, runs, all these are headings are compulsory for creation of pivot table. Rule number two. What is rule number two? There should be no empty row or column. You have to ensure that your data is without empty rows or columns. Okay. What is rule number three? No totals or subtotals. As totals and subtotals are automatically created with help of pivot table, no totals or subtotals in your data. Okay. Automatic summarization, automatic calculation of data will be done by Excel itself. Okay. So you have to simply click on, you have to simply select the data and all the summarization will be done by Excel engine itself. Headings are compulsory, no empty rows and columns, no totals or subtotals in the data. The subtotaling, the summarization, everything will be done by pivot table itself. Okay. Now it is also important to remember that, okay, rule number, consider it as rule number 4. Whenever there is an updation, in case of updation, you have to select the data set, complete data set again. So to avoid that, to go for automatic refreshment of data, consider this data in a table format just by pressing Control T. Suppose if this is the data that I am going to work on, I have to simply select Control T. Now this is converted into table. Okay. If I don't want to see this format, what I can do, I can go for some simple regular format in a table like this, right? Now this is the format. So updation in table format will be done by just simply clicking on refresh. Now this is the table I have, right? This is the table I have. Now this is table 3. As now it is converted into table, what I have to do simply, suppose if I add one more field, one more player name, suppose take one more example like I am taking the same data of Dravid. Okay. I am entering here. I am entering Rahul name, KL Rahul. Okay. KL Rahul. I'm not changing the data. I'm simply changing the, as he's from Karnataka, I'm just going like this. Now, as this is in table format, I have to simply click on refresh. Now KL Rahul is added because this is in table format. If this is not in table format, there is no pause. Even after adding Rahul, the data, whole data has to be selected again and all the updation will not be applicable. So by converting the data into table format, the updations we make will be easily reflected by simply clicking on refresh. Automatic updation of pivot table will be also done with this. Now coming to the next part, tables can be also created, or the data can be converted into tables by using tables option, and we have that part here. Okay, take this as example. What I have to do, I have to simply select this. I can convert this into table. Now coming to the next group, tables group is done. Now coming to illustrations. Pictures can be inserted from different parts. Okay. So whatever picture that I have from different locations of computer. I can select that. Okay. And I can print it. Okay. Wherever I want, I can print it very easily. Now, once I insert picture, automatically the picture format virtual tab will be displayed. Different options related to picture will be displayed here. Okay. Next, after completion of this, we have picture insertion. Different pictures and can be inserted. Then we have shapes of different sizes, different colors. We can insert different shapes by using shapes options. We can also go for insertion of different kinds of icons. Okay, the icons will be present. Whatever icon you want, that can be inserted easily. Okay, icons can be inserted. Then 3D models. Okay, 3D models of different types which are present in this device. Okay, which can be downloaded from different sources. All of them will be emojis, chemistry, anatomy, stickers, right? All this math symbols. Now we have all the advanced options available to us and we can insert them here, right? 3D models. We can go for different kinds of 3D models, right? When it is connected to internet, we get all these different options, right? And all. Sometimes when we have large 3D models, it takes some time to insert all this, right? We will have so many 3D models and we can insert them in our Excel worksheet depending on our requirement. Now let's take the next option, that is Smart Art. In Smart Art, we have various options. I'm just taking two options. One is hierarchy. Okay. And the second one is, I'm taking one more here, that is cycle. Okay. So in this process also, in this model also, we have various types of designs here. I'm selecting this so that, so here I'm selecting pivot. Okay. Analysis summary. Here I'm selecting one more option, that is what is this? Smart art. Visual can be created, will be easy to understand. Okay, whatever classification you take, example of different agricultural process like flowing, right? Next process is sowing, okay, fertilizing or applying fertilizers, irrigation, and after that finally harvest. Once the harvesting is done, again the cultivation will go on. In this manner, we can insert different kinds of smart art by using this insert tab options. Next, if I think about taking a screenshot, screen clipping, I can take a screen clipping and I can add it here. You can add it anywhere. Clipping of the screen can be taken any window that is opened, even any other application that we can take a screenshot, any particular part or whole screen can be taken and we can insert that here. Next, when we have add-ins, we have to log in into Microsoft account. And once you are added, you can add all this Microsoft Visio, Data Visualizer, Analyzer, Microsoft Dynamics. Okay, different add-ins are available. Data analytics, for data analytics, we can add this, right? Whatever add-ins that I have selected, they all will be displayed here in my add-ins, and different add-ins which are available in Excel, they will be displayed here. They are useful for different options. These add-ins are useful for applying or using added features, and added analysis of data can be done by using these add-ins. Charts of various types can be created. For a creation of chart, it is important that we have to remember one important point, that data must be selected for creation of chart. Already some recommended charts are given here. Okay, you can use them directly. Otherwise, you can go for creation of your own chart by using different charts available here. Okay, you can see the chart. This is different players and there. How you want to see that you can change it. Once you select it, you can go for change of chart type, go for column chart. Okay, number of runs scored by each player displayed here. In this manner, you can use charts of various types in Excel. You can select whatever you want. Okay. the percentage of runs scored. We can also go for change of that into various types. Okay. This is about charts. Okay. Next, maps. When we have data, okay, which is showing different states and countries, then what we can do? We can go for insertion of maps to represent the data. Okay. I'm simply selecting the total data and I'm going for use of maps. And the states from the players like players from Punjab, okay, players from Jharkhand playing like Dhoni, players from Karnataka and Maharashtra playing from Mumbai, Maharashtra and Karnataka. So these are the states we have, okay. Even Delhi, a small dot you can see here, that is Delhi. So based on the data that we have in Excel sheet, the chart created that is created by using this one, okay, by using maps option. Once the map is created, we have chart design, okay, we have different layouts for it. We can also add chart element, we can also add legends, right? All this can be done by using maps option, right? Pivot chart. Based on data, we created pivot tables. Now we can also go for creation of pivot charts also. Now I have selected all the data in table 3. I'm simply selecting table 3 is already selected. I am simply clicking on OK. Now in the same manner, what I have to do? I have to give values like runs under values. Legend is year. Okay. Access here and type of match filter. Now I can see Dhoni and all this, right? Right. In this manner, we can go for display of data. Okay. In different ways by using pivot chart. Okay. 3D maps can be inserted. 3D map tours can be inserted when you want to create a map tour. Open 3D maps. 3D maps will be created when you are explaining about a travel in your business organization or any tour that you are planning on the globe that can be explained by using this 3D tour. Okay. The next group is Sparklines group. For Sparklines group, it is important to have data which is. So what is the next option we have in Sparklines? Columns. So for columns also I have to select the data. I have to click on columns. And for location range, I'm selecting this. Okay. Now columns are selected. First one for 2009 and the second one for 2010 and the third one for 2011. Now take the third example. What is the third example in Sparklines? Third option, win or loss. When we consider third option, that is win or loss, it is most suitable for business data. Just even though it is not possible, I am just writing minus 15,000. Here I am writing, I am entering this as okay. Here I am giving this as minus, okay, 7,000. Now when I apply this option, like what is the option? Win or loss. When I select the range, when I click on OK, what I can see? The minus values are represented. This is loss, this is win. So when the business have profit and loss, when the business has more sales or when business suffer with losses, that can be represented by using this win or loss option in Sparklines. Coming to the next one, that is slicer and timeline. So here I am taking slicer first. Okay, for slicer I am taking the data and I am clicking on slicer. So for that I am selecting country. First one I am selecting country. Country is common, right? So I am selecting state, I am selecting batsman, I am selecting type of match. That's it. Okay. Now the three slicers are created. These are just like, now I am selecting domestic. Only domestic data will be displayed. If I select Delhi, only the data of Delhi players will be displayed. If I select Jharkhand players. Okay. I'm just simply removing the selection. I'm selecting all. Maharashtra, all players. Punjab, right? Karnataka, all players. So in this manner, we can go for I'm removing the selection. I'm selecting Maharashtra. I'm removing the selection. I'm selecting T20s. I'm removing the selection. I'm selecting only Karnataka. I'm removing the selection. I'm selecting only Dhoni. Removing the selection here also. Right. In this manner, we can apply slicers also. Next option is timeline. When we have this timeline, when the data is stored in date-based format, when we have data in date-wise format, then this timeline option will be useful. Then we can create links, like take one example. So I'm typing sheet 1. Okay, I'm selecting typing sheet 1 and I am creating a link place within the document and I am selecting sheet 1. Okay, I have sheet 1 exactly on the downside. Now I am in example 1 pivot table and chart. The sheet 1 is here. Now I am clicking on OK. When I click on this, what will happen? I will go directly to sheet 1. Okay, this is the use of hyperlink. Okay, I am in example 1. I am clicking on this and I am going to sheet 1. This can be applied. This can be applied for external applications also. If I want to open MS Word, insert link, and I'm selecting a Word file on the desktop and I'm clicking on OK. When I click on this, Word file is opened. Okay. In this manner, I can give links to different sources within the document or within the Excel worksheet or outside the Excel worksheet by using links option. If I want to write some comment for any cell, I can write it. Link to desktop file. Link to desktop file. Okay, that's it. When I place my cursor here, what it displays? Link to desktop file. The comment will be clearly visible with this symbol, and if I simply place my cursor over there, I can read the comment. If I want to place text box, header and footer, word art, signature line and object. What is text box? Instead of typing directly in the cell, if you want to separately in a text box, you want to create a box of your own, that can be done by using text box option. If you want header and footer, those can be inserted by using this option. And once this is done, okay, view, I'm going for normal view, right? In insert word art, if you want to go for any word art style, you can go for it. Okay, you can type whatever you want here. Right, I'm typing Creative Academy, right? So these are the different options we have with the text signature line, object like any external object like Microsoft PowerPoint, Word, different options, different objects can be inserted, WordPad and all can be inserted in the document, right? Next, the next option, symbols of various types, equations of various types and symbols of various types can be inserted by using this option. These are the different options we have in Insert tab of Excel 2016. Hi, welcome to Excel tutorial. In this part, we will be discussing about options of Page Layout tab. In Page Layout tab, we have different groups like Themes, Page Setup, Scale to Fit, Sheet Options, and Arrange. These are the different options we have in Page Layout. So, first option is Themes option. So, we have this table. Just see the changes that are made to the table. You can clearly see how the heading style is getting changed on the top. Okay, for each theme, different font style. Okay, different type of color for heading, right? All these are different options, different styles we have with themes. Colors, fonts, and effects will change. Especially in Smart Art, we can see better use of themes. Each theme will have its own font, will have its own color for text, headings, and all. They can be applied based on our requirement. Okay. Next, margins. Whether you want wide margins, normal margins, or narrow margins, or whether you go for custom margins, that is your choice. Header and footer, how much space you will leave. Okay. And all this can be done by using margins options. Orientation, whether you want to see vertical page or horizontal page, portrait or landscape, based on the type of page that is available with the printer, based on the page that you want to print, you will be selecting the size of paper. When you don't want to print the total area, when you want to print only some part of Excel worksheet, then you can simply select, suppose if I want to print only these 6 lines, okay. I will be selecting this and I will be clicking on print area. When I click on Control P, I can see only that, okay. I can print only that. That is about print area. When I want to see page breaks, okay. When I want to apply page breaks, what I can do? I can now, when I click on print, you can clearly see that more number of lines are visible. Up to KL Rahul, the information is getting printed. Now I don't want to see up to that. I want to print only up to Dhoni. Okay. I want to specify ending point here. So what I am doing here, I am simply clicking on insert page break. So now page break is inserted immediately after Dhoni or before Dhoni. Let me say this, print. So only up to Dhoni, as I specified this as ending point, all the lines before it is considered as a page. Even to the right, it will be considered as one page. Okay. So this became, now from this line, from A17 onwards, the data that we have to the downside will be available in second page. Let's see that. So this is page number 1. So when I move to page number 2, okay, what I have? The data after Dhoni third row. Up to Dhoni third row, it is here, next here. Okay. I know that I have given page break here. Okay. Now I want to remove this. Remove page break. Now page break is removed. When I click on Control P again, now I can see the total data. This is about giving page break and removing page break. When you want to reset all the page breaks and all the pages as default, we can go for reset all page breaks. Then coming to the next one, background. When you want to add some picture from a file, suppose, okay, I want to add this into the background. Okay, this is what you can do, and you can adjust its style and all, right? Background can be deleted, background can be added, right? This is what you can do with the background. Okay. Print titles. Now, if you see print titles option, in print titles, if you see example of printing this information, in the first page, we have year, type of match, batsman and runs. In the second page, it is printed without titles. When I want to see titles in the second page also, when I have so many pages, in each page, I don't want to type this separately. Okay, it is not possible to check where the page ends also. So what I am simply doing is, I am simply selecting print titles, and I am selecting the rows to be repeated on the top. Okay, this is what has to be repeated on the top, and I am simply selecting it, and I am clicking on print preview. The first page, it is visible. In the second page, it is visible. From the third page onwards, I don't have any data. So clearly, I can see these titles in the first page and second page. This is possible only when we select print titles and when we select rows to be repeated on the top or columns to be repeated on the left. Based on type of representation of data in Excel, we select whether we have to repeat rows or whether we have to repeat columns. Okay. Suppose if the data is entered in this manner, right? Take example of year, take example of runs, take example of team. So when the data is entered like this, in every page, what has to be repeated? A column has to be repeated. Okay. In such case, we use columns, right? Wait. The next group in page layout tab is scale to fit. In scale to fit, we can adjust the total data that is available to us in one page. Width I can adjust to one page. Right. Height I can adjust to one page. When I say this, it is adjusted to a bad extent. So I'm simply selecting automatic, right? And even the scale is reduced to 52%. I am changing it as 100%. If I see now what I can see it properly. If I reduce the scale to 70%, what will happen? It is reduced to 70%. In this manner, I can go for even I'm just going for 75 to check whether it fits in single page or not, right? In this manner, we can go for use of width, height, and scale to fit data into multiple pages or to fit data into single table. Suppose if I select all the data, I'm just removing this. I'm selecting all the data and I'm applying 2 pages. This is also given 2 pages. Now when I see the print, right, automatic adjustment of size is taking place. So better we have to check the scale and we have to change it from time to time. Otherwise, uh, only when it is the case of shrinking the data into less pages or expanding the data into multiple pages, we have to use this. Otherwise, better to keep it automatic. So these are the grid lines we have. If you want to see the grid lines and print them, there are 2 options here. Suppose if I don't see the difference between the both, now I'm selecting print. Now you can see there are no grid lines beside runs. Now when I print it, when I apply this, you can see this change. Okay. View and print. Headings, these are the headings. A, B, C, D's are column headings. And 1, 2, 3 are row heading. You want to print them, you can also print them by selecting that option. A, B, C's and 1, 2, 3's are visible. So whether to see or print headings, that option is visible here. When we have multiple shapes, take one example. I have a shape here. I have one more shape on the top of it, which is in different color, right? Now, if I want to work on these shapes, right? I want to bring this to the front side. Bring to front side. Send it to back side. Okay. This is already front. In this manner, different applications, right? Whatever we select from the shapes, that is selection pane, alignment can be done. Alignment of shapes can be done. When we have multiple shapes, they can be grouped together. When we move it, now it moves in a group. We can also ungroup it. Now they move normally. Grouping and ungrouping of objects can be done here. If you think about rotating it, you can rotate it. These are the different options we have in page layout tab of Excel. Thank you. Welcome to Excel tutorial. In this part, we will be learning about formulas tab. In formulas tab, it is important to remember that every formula starts with equal to. We have 2 types of formulas. One is user defined formula and second one is system defined formula. In Excel, every formula starts with equal to, and we can use 2 types of formulas in Excel. First one is user defined formula. Second one is system defined formula. We also call it as function. For simple understanding of user defined formula, I can simply type equal to 1 plus 2 and it will give result as 3. This is user defined formula. We can also write formula with reference to cells like A1 plus A2. As we have date values only, A instead of A1, let me consider D2 plus D3. Now D2 plus D3, 2000 plus 3 to 3000 equal to 5000. This is also user defined formula. Here we directly entered values. Here references are used. instead of that, suppose if I think about using a range of values, I have to simply select it. Okay. Range of values can be also added in formula by simply using drag and drop technique. Okay. Now, when we talk about first option, that is insert function, this insert function allows us to use different functions which are available to us in Excel. Here, this insert function dialog box will be opened. We have to simply click on the function name and we have to click on OK. Here, when you think about selection of numbers, okay, you can go for group of numbers, okay, number 1, and number 2, I am selecting one more group, okay, and I am simply clicking on OK. The two ranges, okay, what I did, I am doing it one more time. I am clicking on insert function. I am using sum function. In sum, for the first range, I am using from D2 to D10. D2 to D10 is the first range. Okay. I can give single number or I can choose the range. The second range is D11 to D20. Okay. These two ranges are selected. Now I am clicking on OK. Now this is sum of D2 to D10 and D11 to D20. The values from D2 to D20 are added and we got this as result. In this manner, we can use function like sum. We will be discussing about functions of Excel in detailed videos. Okay. Just now I am explaining how to use the functions. Then we have auto sum functions like sum, average, count, max and min. These functions can be, if I think about using max function, simply I have to click on max of all this, right? I can select the total range, right? I have to simply click on OK. Now, what is the maximum value from D2 to D57? That is 5000 is the maximum value. Okay. This is the case with the auto sum functions. Recently used functions will be visible here. Financial functions of various types, logical functions, text functions, date and time functions, lookup and reference, mass and reg, and various other categories of functions will be also visible in Excel. For Excel functions, I am making a separate tutorial. In each tutorial, I will cover 3 to 5 functions. In each part of tutorial, I will cover 3 to 5 functions and I will explain about all the functions of Excel in the videos that will be posted in our channel. So, next, name manager. What is name manager? The name given to a particular group of cells. Define name. I am giving this as Kohli. Okay. Scope workbook. Done. Now the runs code by Virat Kohli in different formats are given a name Kohli. Now I can use it directly here, equal to sum of Kohli, because Kohli will refer these four cells. Okay. Now what is the total? 2000 plus 3000, 5000. This is all 7000. Okay. These four cells are given name Kohli and we added them we used it directly in the function, that is define name. We can give name for list of cells. Okay. Now use in formula, that can be used in formula. Suppose if I use equal to average of average of Kohli. Then right? We can use in formula, create from selection. So after selecting the data, we can give a name for it. We can define the name and we can specify the selection. We can select it. Okay. Create from selection, top row, left column, bottom row, right column. These are predefined formats. So create from selection is possible. These are the different options we have in define names. Suppose when we select this, trace precedence, from where this result is achieved. This is one group, D2 to D10, D11 to D20 is the second group. So we have this. Then, okay, trace dependence. This value is responsible for calculation of all this. Trace dependence. Now all arrows are removed. Now we'll see this. 2000 is selected. Trace dependence. Show formulas. We will be seeing the formulas instead of values or results. Instead of results, we see formulas when we click on this. Any error checking. If any errors are there in formulas or anywhere else, that can be checked here. Evaluate formula. Take example of this. I'm simply clicking on evaluate formula. Evaluate. Done. How it is calculated. Different kinds of evaluations can be done. Watch window. We can add watch. Okay. Just to focus on a particular range of values. Add watch. Whether when we want to see the changes which are happening in different important locations of our document, then we will be selecting this. Okay. Automatically we will be having a close eye on what is happening in the particular active location. Okay. Next, calculation options. Generally it will be automatic. Okay. If you want to keep it manual, you can keep it manual. After completion of all your work, you can click on calculate now, and you can also click on calculate sheet for completing calculations over total worksheet. Okay. In this manner, we can use different options in formulas tab of Excel. Welcome to this new tutorial on Excel. In this tutorial part, we will be discussing about data tab in Excel. In data tab of Excel, we have different groups like get and transform data, queries and connections, data types, sort and filter, data tools, forecast and outline. So when we consider the first one, when we think about getting data from external sources, suppose we have an empty sheet. Okay, I have an empty sheet. I want to get data from another Excel workbook. Okay, from which workbook I am trying to get the data? I am trying to get the data from the desktop, which is there in Chicago Narcotics. Okay, once the connection is established, okay, I am selecting this and I am selecting transform data. Right. The data is copied here. Now you can see the data that is imported from other location. Okay. From where? Desktop data. Okay. We can also get it from database, Azure, and all these types of formats are accepted here in this case. Okay. Now from text or CSV file, comma separated values will be present. CSV files, from CSV files we can take, from web we can take, from a tabular range, from picture. These all are different ways of extracting data into Excel. Okay, we can also take it from websites. Of various websites we can enter, take example amazon.in. Okay, this is the data that we this is the data that we got from Amazon. Okay, we received very less data, but we got some data, right? In this manner, we get data from different sources. Okay, and queries and connections, when we have connection to different databases, when we have connections to access SQL, and when we fetch data from different sources, the queries and connections, and they will be refreshed and they can be modified by using queries and connections options. All of them will be visible here on the right hand side. So properties, whether to include row numbers, preserve columns, sorting, all these options will be available in queries and connections. These are generally useful for users who work in different organizations and who work at a high level. For beginners, no need to worry about get transform data queries and connection. You just focus on how to learn all Excel formulas and all Excel options. Once you learn all of them, working on transforming of data, working on queries and connections will become very easy for you. Okay. How you are fetching the data from different sources will be clearly visible to us, visible to you. Okay. Whatever connections that we have in the workbook, all those connections will be visible in queries and connections. Okay. How we retrieve data from different sources will be clearly visible by using queries and connections on the right hand side of Excel worksheet. Let's see data types group, that is stocks and currencies. You take example of the first one, like I'm typing NTPC here. So after typing NTPC, I'm selecting this and I'm clicking on stocks. So I can see it's 52 weeks high. I can see it's 52 weeks low. Okay. In this manner, stocks related information can be accessed here. Now I'm taking the next example, that is USD or Euro. Or you can also take one more example, that is USD and Indian rupee. Okay, the relation between these two currencies. Okay, I'm selecting them under currencies and I am selecting 52 weeks high. Okay, USD to Euro, we have a difference. What is its Indian value to dollar? $1 is equal to 83 rupees 26 paisa. $1 is equal to 1.05 euro. In this manner, the currency related values can be accessed by us. Hi, welcome to Excel tutorial. In this part, we will be discussing about data tab. In the previous tutorial of data tab, we completed up to data types. In this tutorial, we will be discussing about sort and filter, data tools, forecast, and outline. These four groups will be discussed in this part of Excel data tab tutorial. Coming to the first option in sort and filter, that is sort. Sort is nothing but arranging the data in a particular order. Now, this application of this sort and data is very easy. Suppose if I think about sorting type of match, I have to simply click on any one of the cell in that particular column and I have to click on A to Z, means from ascending order. Okay, ascending order is followed. Now I think about, now I am selecting the same column and I am clicking on Z to A. Now it is giving data from last alphabet to first alphabet. In this manner, by selecting a particular column, highest to lowest or lowest to highest can be retrieved. Now, if I click on runs column, if I click on A to Z from smallest to largest or largest to smallest, okay, whole data corresponding to the particular value will also change when we change it. You see, first column is 5000 Dravid. Suppose when I change it in descending order, domestic, every value corresponding to that column, okay, all that row will get changed based on adjustment done due to sort. So after checking these two options like ascending order and descending order in sorting, now let's see different options available to us. This is custom sort. Suppose if I want to display data in a different manner, suppose after selecting all the data, I am thinking about a sort in which type of match is considered first, and in type of match A to Z is displayed. A to Z means ascending order type of matches will be displayed. I'm adding one more level. That one more level is based on runs. So in each type of match, the maximum runs scored by a player based on order of runs scored by each player, and based on type of match, I need sorting. So that what I did, type of match, and after sorting the data based on type of match, in that particular type of match, the player who scored maximum runs will be displayed. Let's see that now. Now if we see this in domestic, Sachin Tendulkar scored maximum runs. In one day, Sachin Tendulkar scored maximum runs. In T20, Yuvraj scored maximum runs. In test matches, Dravid scored maximum. Okay. In this manner, multi-level sorting can be also done. I can remove one level if needed. Okay. If I apply on it now, it is just displaying data in a normal manner. Only the data is sorted. Suppose if I sort it by batsman. Now you see here. Now I am sorting it. One more level I am adding. I am sorting by batsman name. Now in domestic, again alphabetical order is followed. In this manner, custom sort can be also applied, and we can add different levels in custom sort. Okay. Now coming to the next option, that is filter. So I'm selecting the total data and I am applying filter. Once we apply filter option, automatically each column head will have this drop down list. Here all the values in that column will be displayed, and we can, if we deselect any value, automatically those values will not be visible to us here. Okay. If I want to see all the values, simply I have to click on select all. I can see all the values now. If I don't want to see some batsman's data, suppose I want to see only Sachin Tendulkar data. So I can see that. One more is selected. Let me remove Dhoni. I think Dhoni is also selected. I'm removing Dhoni. Now I see only Sachin Tendulkar. If I think about seeing only Yuvraj data, I can see that. If I think about only Dravid data, I can see that. Okay. In this manner, we can go for customized filtering on different columns. Okay. Now, along with this customized filtering, we also have text filters, right? Equals, does not equal, begin with, ends with, contains, does not contain, and all. So I want to see data. Okay. I want to see data in type of matches that begins with T. Okay. Okay. Only data that starts with T is visible here. Now, if I apply sorting filtering here, if I apply filtering on runs, if I apply filtering on runs, then I'm going to number filters. I'm looking for greater than 1000. Only data that is above 1000 is visible here. In this manner, we can go for different types of custom sorting. On text, we have different types of filters. On numbers, we have different kinds of filters like equal, does not equal, greater than, less than or equal to, between. Between, I want to see data between 1000 and 2000. So the data is clearly displayed. In this manner, we can go for different types of custom sorting. Even the batsman case, I am going for contains Sachin. Easily, I can go for it. From the data that is available to us, from the data that is available related to T20 and test, I have only one row that is showing Sachin Tendulkar data. So when I apply that filter, right, that contains Sachin in the present data, what I see directly, the remaining data will be filtered. I will be seeing directly the data related to Sachin Tendulkar. In this manner, we can go for application of customized filters. This is direct filtering, and we can also go for different kinds of customized filters like equals to. When a number is equal to the given number, then only the data will be displayed. Number is exactly equal to 2500. Only one row is available with 2500, so it is displaying it, right? Now, when I think about another filter like greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, just specifying the value, or in the case of text, specifying the character or group of characters, automatically the remaining data will be filtered, and whatever data that we need, that can be accessed by using this filter option. Now I'm thinking about applying filter by using cell color. Okay. Now I'm applying filter here, and by right clicking on this, I'm going for filter by cell color. Okay. Now these cells are filtered. Okay. Filter by color. No fill. Only cells without color are displayed here. The cells with color are filtered, and They are not visible now, and we are only seeing data where cells are not filled with any color. Now, after completion of this, we missed one more data which is highest, that is Sachin Tendulkar. This is the actual data that we filtered. We missed this 4000. We marked all the highest runs, and by mistake we missed this. After applying filter, the data is visible here. Now what I did, I have marked this again in green color. Okay. Now, but after applying the previous filter, this should not be visible to me, but this is visible. So what, instead of applying the whole filter again, I have to simply click on reapply. Whatever previous filter that is applied, the filtering was done previously based on cell color. The same filtering is applied again without selecting the option, without selecting the cell color, to apply the same filter that is applied on data. Suppose when we make changes on data, the previous filter, even though filter is already applied, due to the changes made by us, the data needs to be filtered again. In such cases, we can go for reapply. We can also clear all the filters that are applied. Okay. In this manner, we can use clear and reapply options. In advanced filter option, if you see this advanced filter option, in advanced filter option, we can filter the list in the same place, or we can copy it to the another location. I am considering the second option. If I think about filtering the list in the same place, that we already did individually. Now I am thinking about copying it in a new location. In this, we have to remember three important points. The table that is visible here, this is called source data. And here we have, I consider two criteria. This is criteria number 1 for filtering data, and this is criteria number 2 for filtering data. And I have one more option, that is destination, where the filter data should be displayed. So I'm going for advanced filter. I'm selecting copy to another location. The list range. What is the list range? This is the list range. I'm selecting all the table. Okay. For criteria range, I'm selecting first runs where 100 is present. That will be criteria, and the data will be copied here. So nothing is visible because no player scored 100 runs. Now, if I change this to 1000, what I have to do? I have to go for advanced filter, copy to another location. I have to select the values where the source data is present. I have to select the criteria. Okay. Copy to this location. Now runs 1000. The rows with runs 1000 are displayed here. If I write greater than 1000, if I apply the filter again, okay, if I apply the filter, advanced filter, I'm selecting the range again. Now it is modified, okay, and copying it to new location. That new location is this one, and I am simply copying it. Okay. So I'm selecting all the range now. Range is not selected. So what I'm doing, criteria range is done and copy to new location. And here I'm selecting all this range. Okay. Now it is all visible here. As I selected limited range, some of the data is missing. So in this manner, we can go for it. If I change it, it will be displayed again. Now let's see the second criteria, that is T20. Now again, I am going for advanced filter. In advanced filter, the table that we consider for filtering is called source data. The second one is criteria based on which filtering is done. And the third one is destination, where the filter data will be placed. Now I am going for advanced filter. I want to copy it to another location and I have to select the total table or the table range that has to be filtered. Here I'm filtering the total table, so I'm selecting the total table. The criteria range is I'm considering type of mesh, and the value also I'm specifying, that is T20. Okay. And it should be copied to this particular, sorry, this should be copied to this cell. Okay. From here, the data will be copied. So now I can see clearly that after applying filtering on this table, I got this new data in this manner. The source data, criteria, destination cells are important for advanced filter, and we can filter the data in the same place or we can copy it to new location. Instead of filtering the data in the same location, as we already did filtering of data in same location in the previous cases, I consider new options, copy to another location. If you want to see only unique records, if multiple records are visible to us, then we can go for unique records option. Here there is no duplication, so we can, even with using it or without using it, we got unique records in advanced filter option. Okay. When we consider text to column options, here we have text, convert text to columns wizard. We have 3 steps in conversion of text to columns. So here the original data type, which is delimited or fixed width, will be converted into number of columns or will be adjusted to number of columns. So when we consider delimited option, the characters such as commas, tabs separate the each field. Here we don't have delimited characters. Fixed width. Fields are aligned in columns with spaces between each field. So for us, in the first case, we are considering fixed width. So fixed width option is selected and I'm clicking on next. Now I can clearly see here that the data present in the cell is divided into 4 columns. Okay. Now I am clicking on next. Okay. I am clicking on finish. Now the data is adjusted into 4 cells when I selected text to columns feature. Now I'm considering the second type, that is text to columns delimited. So characters such as commas or tabs separate each field. We have commas here. I'm clicking on next. So here, what is the delimited? Generally default is tab, but for us it is comma. Once I select comma, automatically when we have all this, we can select multiple delimiters also. I have only comma here, so I selected comma and I'm clicking on next. Finish. Automatically the data is adjusted into 4 columns. In this manner, the delimited text or the space with text can be adjusted into multiple columns by using text to columns. Now let's see the example that we are considering for flash fill. So in the first cell in A2, I have country code and phone number. Country code is 91 and the phone number is entered. Okay. After following, what is the pattern that we followed? Country code that is in the first part is taken here. The second part is taken in this cell. When I select this and when I select this and when I click on flash fill, automatically the same pattern followed by the top cell will be copied by other cells in the particular column. Now, this is also the same. The pattern followed by the first cell will be followed by other cells by using flash fill option. This is the advantage of this. The shortcut for this is Control E. Now coming to the next option, that is remove duplicates. In remove duplicates option, suppose you take this as example. Virat Kohli 2000, matches 35, tournaments 12. We have data related to Virat Kohli. Intentionally, I copied the same data. Okay. Intentionally, I copied the same data again for all the players. Now, when I click on remove duplicates, now you see here, we have total of 57 rows. Okay. In total, we have 57 rows. When I apply remove duplicates, okay, I'm simply selecting select all, okay, for all the columns. 28 duplicates are found and now I have 29 rows only. Previously 57 rows were there. Now after removing the duplicates, I have only 29. Now the next one is data validation option. So this data validation option checks whether the data entered by us is correct or not. Okay. Suppose if I apply data validation here, as this is related to cricket, should allow whole number between years will be always whole numbers. Cricket data was recorded from 1877. Okay. The first match that was played was between England and Australia. It was played in 1877. Maximum, there is no maximum. I am only specifying minimum, not between, greater than 1877. All the values, all the years above 1877 will be acceptable for year. For type of match, so the data validation is, what kind of field is this? This is text field generally. Okay. Text field data greater than T20 ODI test. So minimum is 3. So it also avoids any error. Okay, typing error will be avoided. So in this manner, we can Suppose in the case of runs, there will be no negative runs, right? No one will score in minus. So data validation, settings, whole number, and it is also greater than 0. Okay. No value in minus will not be accepted by the table. So this is first option, whether we greater than, equal to, based on text length, we can give different kinds of validation. Suppose if I try to enter 1850, what will happen? This value does not match the data validation restrictions. This kind of error will be displayed. Suppose if I try to enter here, suppose if I try to enter OD, okay, as limit is given, minimum characters 3 given. So it is showing that data entry is not acceptable. To avoid errors during data entry, this validation option is very useful. We can circle invalid data. If any invalid data is entered, that can be circled once the total data is entered. Okay. Now in data validation, we can also give input message to avoid errors. Okay. The title is year. Okay. I'm selecting this column and I'm selecting data validation. Here I am giving the option like here I am selecting title text box, and I am giving year entry. Title is year entry. Input message, please enter year after 1877. Okay. So automatically when I try to enter, it gives input message that entry of year should be after 1877. Automatically the user error will be eliminated. When the user reads that message, automatically the chance of making error will be minimized. Error alert. What has to be done? Warning, information, okay. Whatever wrong entry, please correct it and enter year after 1877 in this manner. During entry and even after entry, we can give some warning also. Okay. Now, even after this message, by mistake, typing error, suppose 1850 is given. The second cell, suppose 1850 is given. In the second cell, suppose 1850 is given. What will happen immediately? Wrong entry, please correct it and enter year after 1877. Continue. Yes. So, in this manner, we can go for different kinds of data validations. Data consolidation. So here I have three tables. One is data related to Hyderabad. One table is showing data related to Hyderabad. The second table is showing data related to Addanki. The third data is showing data related to Delhi. I have three tables which are stored in different Excel worksheets. Hyderabad store one sheet, Addanki store details are in one sheet, Delhi store details are in one sheet. Now I want consolidated sales report of Delhi, Hyderabad and Addanki stores. For that, what I can do? I have to simply click on the cell and I have to click on consolidate option. Here consolidation of data has to be done. Okay. So what is consolidation? The data present in different locations will be combined and aggregation of data will be done by using this option, consolidation. Okay. Now I am selecting this. Different functions are available, but for me, standard deviation, variance, max, min, product count, all these are available. Different functions like sum, count, average, max, standard deviation, variance, all these are available to us. But for me, sum is okay. So reference, what is the reference I have? Hyderabad store data, reference number 1. I'm adding it. Then Addanki store data, reference number 2. I'm adding it. And the third one is Delhi store data. I'm selecting that. Now I'm adding it. Now Addanki, Delhi, Hyderabad. The data from three different Excel sheets will be taken by using consolidate option, and I'm simply clicking on OK. Now the data is taken from these three stores and it is combined and consolidated data by applying some function on it is clearly displayed here. Okay. Consider that I don't have labels here. Okay. In consolidation, after taking the references, the labels of top row, suppose if I don't take this top row directly, if I want to take labels from the data which is taken for consolidation, or if I think about taking labels of left column from the consolidated data, that can be also done during consolidation. Okay. Now coming to the next option, that is relationships. Now to understand relationships, I'm starting with insert pivot table. Generally, the relationships will be present in data model. I'm selecting data model and I am clicking on pivot table from data model in existing worksheet. I'm clicking on OK. Now all the tables in the workbook are visible to us here. But for me, the total fee, courses, branch fee and branch are the tables which are used for establishing relationship. Okay. So here these four tables like students data, or it is also have name like total fee. Okay. Total fee table and branch fee table and branch fee table, branches table and courses table. In student data, the branch, course, fee received from a particular course, month and date on which it is received, the data is stored. In a branch student data, the total fee received by a particular branch from all the courses is stored. In branches data, the code of the branch and branch name is stored. In course data table, the course code and course name data is present. In this manner, four different tables. Okay, better to store all these in table format. All these four tables are present in four different Excel worksheets, and we have connection from one table to another, like here course code, branch code are there, even fee received. So the fee received here is directly connected to fee received here, and date is directly connected to date here. Month is directly connected to month over there, and branch code. The data in first sheet or student's data sheet is connected to branch student data. Branch wise data, ADK, HYD, these codes are having connection to next sheet, that is branches data. And here student data where we have courses, these courses are connected to course data table present in another sheet. Now how to establish relationship between these and how to use them in a pivot table. Now before establishing relation, I can use this for, I'm using this for creating pivot table. So branch name is considered as a filter, and course name is considered for columns, and fee received is considered for values, and for rows course code is considered. Okay. Now if I see the data here, the data is not correct. So almost for every column, the same data is visible. Branch name. Okay. This is not correct. So how to get correct data in pivot table when pivot tables are created by using data table? In such case, we have to create relationships. How these relationships are to be created? I know that total fee course code is related to courses course code, and I know that branch code is related to branch code. Okay. Now I have relationship between these two. Now branch fee. So I have to establish one more relationship. Branch fee, branch code is related to branch code. Okay. Now the connection is established. Okay. If I refresh this, okay, now I can see the correct data. Okay. Even one more relationship is present in the data. One more relationship is total fee branch code is related to branches branch code. This relationship is already established. Now you can see proper data. Okay. Proper data and grand totals. Now what I am doing is I am adding fee received in columns. So total fee received here, and branch wise fee details. Branch wise fee details. Okay. Here. Now I can see data in correct manner. Now I can see correct data after establishing relationship. That is the use of relationships in Excel. Now let's see scenario manager option in what if analysis. In what if analysis, we have to select scenario manager. We have to click on add cell. I'm selecting it as quantity 1 by changing cells B1. Okay. So enter values for changing cells. I'm entering only 1. I'm entering one more scenario, that is quantity 2 by changing cell B1, and quantity is 2. I'm adding one more scenario, that is quantity 3, and here B1 value will become 3. I'm adding one more here, that is quantity 4. Okay, here value is 4. Okay, I have 4 scenarios, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So after adding these 4 scenarios for my scenario manager, if I click on summary, scenario pivot table, I'm going for scenario summary. If I say this, I can see based on current values, quantity 1, 47,300, quantity 2, what is the total cost of it? Quantity 3, quantity 4. In this manner, the estimations about the future, the estimations about the present data can be made by using scenario manager, and we can also check how data works during different scenarios, how these changes will affect our data in future. That all scenarios we can keep, and we can keep a track of all this by using scenario manager. Now let's see this example for goal seek. Suppose I have 100 units sold. Each unit is sold at 15,000 rupees, and the total sales is equal to, and now the formula for this is H9 into H10. H10 multiplied by H10. Now I got the answer. Suppose if I think about now the total value is 15 lakhs. If I think about how to get 20 lakhs amount, by selling how many units I will get 20 lakhs. So then what I have to do, I have to go to data tab. In what if analysis, I have to check goal seek option. I have to click on goal seek option, set cell H11. H11 must have formula. In goal seek option, the cell that we select under set cell must have a formula. We already have formula here, units multiplied by price. We have to change its value to how much? 20 lakhs. By changing cell, what is the cell that we have to change? This one. When quantity is changed, the value will get changed. So to get 20 lakh rupees, 133 units must be sold. Almost 134 units must be sold. So 133 units are to be sold. But here, now I am applying ceiling function on this, so that there will be no decimal part and only whole number part will be present. And it is also in the higher limit. So 134 units must be sold to get 20 lakhs. As we adjusted amount on the top, even total amount got adjusted, but 133.33 means 134 units must be sold. This is the case with goal C. Coming to the next one, that is data table. So in case of data table, let me consider one more example. Okay. I'm changing this as amount or principal, interest, and time. Okay. Time is 12 months. Interest rate is 9%. Amount taken is 10,000. Okay. This is the actual input that we have for our next option. Our next option is data table. Okay. For data table, I am considering this example. Now, I am considering the second part of it, that is dependents. Dependent data. Which data is dependent on above data? The data, like you take example of, suppose the same I am copying here onto the downside. Okay. Same format is, I'm applying the same format here. Okay. Here, dependent data is EMI. Okay. And interest paid. Okay. And total amount paid. These are the important dependent calculations based on the input. In what if analysis, to use data table for row input and column input, it is important to remember that the top left corner cell must be empty. And here the principal amount initially is considered for 10,000. Now we are considering 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 as principal amount, and interest rates 12, 13 and 14%. Now I am giving input for calculation of EMI and I have entered it. Okay. Now the EMI amount for 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 at interest rates of 12, 13 and 14% I have to calculate. I have to select the total data. I have to click on data tab, what if analysis, data table. Now row input cell is principal amount. The column input cell is interest rate. When I click on OK, I get interest rate at 12%. What is the EMI for 20,000? What is the EMI for 30,000 and all this. If I want to calculate interest paid, automatically interest paid data will be present. If I think about total amount paid for 20,000 at 12% after completion of 1 year, 13% after completion of 1 year, 14%. Now when I think about changing it to 24%, the data will change. Okay. In this manner, we can make different changes to data, and in what if analysis, the estimations, scenario manager, different scenarios and different estimations can be made by using scenario manager. How to reach a particular target, how much increase should take place, that we can calculate. And data table allows us to give row input and column input to forecast or to estimate data in different aspects. So what if analysis has these three important options: scenario manager, goal seek, and data table. Now the next one, forecast sheet. Now I have data from 1st January 2022 to 1st January 2027. The total sales in different years on 1st January is taken here. So I am selecting the data and I am selecting on forecast sheet. Okay. Based on this, based on the data that is present here or given here, this is the estimation given. Okay. This is upper limit and this is lower limit. Sales forecast, lower confidence bound and upper confidence bound. In this manner, we can go for forecasting of data for future by using forecast analysis. Okay. Next, grouping and ungrouping of data. Suppose if I think about grouping a particular data, I have to simply click on group. So rows or columns. I am clicking on columns. Now all the columns are grouped here as one part. If I click on plus, it will be visible. If I click on minus, it will be hidden. This is about making 4 columns into one particular group. If I think about ungrouping it, I have to simply click on ungroup option. Columns ungroup. So rows and columns grouping and ungrouping can be done by using group and ungroup. Now let's consider the next option, that is subtotal. In data tab, we have the last option as subtotal. For applying subtotal, it is important to have sorted data. When we have sorted data, we can apply subtotal by just clicking inside the data and we can get the subtotal. The total sales from Addanki, the total sales from Bangalore, total sales from Hyderabad, and the grand total from all branches clearly visible to us by using this option, subtotal. These are the different options we have in data tab. Thank you. Hi, welcome to Excel tutorial. In this part, we will be discussing about review tab of Excel. In review tab of Excel, we have different groups like proofing, accessibility, insights, languages, changes, new comment, and different options related to comments, notes, protection of worksheet, and ink. All these are visible to us. Any spelling error is present. Suppose if I take example of okay. It gives different suggestions if there is any error in it. Okay. If I feel that particular spelling is correct, I click on OK. Okay. I know that this is correct, so I'm clicking on ignore once, ignore all. Okay, in this manner, we can go for even Hyderabad. I'm giving it as Hyderabadu. Now, if I click on spelling and grammar or F7, what it will do? Different suggestions will be given. Okay, ignore. I'm ignoring all this. It want to check. Then Hyderabad suggestion is given. I am simply clicking on change. The checking is done. In this manner, spelling and grammar is useful for checking any spelling errors in the worksheet. Now coming to the second one, thesaurus. Synonyms, antonyms, different words can be searched here. Suppose if I search for the word BT, okay, any word is not found. I'm clicking on word. So we got different synonyms, antonyms, and all the information related to the word will be retrieved by using thesaurus. The statistics of workbook, end of sheet, cells with data, number of tables, number of formulas, total number of worksheets, number of cells with data. Okay. In current sheet and total workbook, the data of current sheet and total workbook will be clearly present here. Accessibility. We have accessibility, default sheet names, hard to read text contrast. So different kinds of alternate text is not given here. So whatever accessibility issues we have in the workbook, they will be displayed here. Okay. Then coming to next part. Smart lookup. We can look for different options here and we can search for it. This is just like search box. Translate options. Okay. We can translate into different languages. So English can be translated into language of our choice, like take example of Hindi, Bengaluru converted. Take example of Telugu, then my mother tongue is translated, right? In this manner, from one language to another, Spanish, okay, from one whatever languages available here to those languages, it can be easily changed. Okay, Kannada, even Tamil. Okay, different regional and international languages will be available. Translator will change our input into different other languages. But if we make any changes, okay, the changes that we make, view details of who changed what, where and when in this workbook. Okay, to enable this show changes option, it is important to have track changes option in review tab. But generally, this option will not be visible for most of you. Then what you have to do, go to file, go to options. In options, go to customize ribbon. In customize ribbon, select all commands. Then in all commands, search for track changes, which will be present with the T, track changes legacy. Okay, it will be found at bottom. You can see here, track changes legacy will be visible. And we have to insert that. I'm renaming it. One group is created. The group is, I can select any one icon for it. And I'm renaming it as track changes. Okay. Track changes group is added. In that, I'm selecting track changes legacy option, which is already added. So add option is not visible here. I can click on add and automatically it will be added to track changes. So it is visible here now. Okay. Now what I can do, I have to click on highlight changes. Okay. Track changes while editing. This also shares your workbook. who is doing it, where they are doing it, everything, right? Reference is not valid. Okay. I have to specify the location exactly. I'm not using it. The action will now save the workbook. Do you want to continue? Okay. Okay. Now I'm clicking on the cell and I'm making different changes to it. Now, once the changes are done, so I can track changes in that manner. But when we have shared Excel file, the show changes. The next option is show changes. This is new option of Excel web when you share file online. When different people are given access to make changes, then you can do that. Okay. The next group is comments group. New comment. Suppose when I enter a number, if I want to write a comment for it, I can write a comment like just I'm writing number. Okay. So whenever I place my cursor over there, I can read the comment. Okay. What is the previous comment? What is the next comment? Whatever comments I have. When I think about deleting the comment, all the comments will be displayed. These are the different options related to comments. When we think about writing some note for particular cell or group of cells, that can be done by using comment option. Okay. Notes. If you think about writing a notes, that you can write. This is similar to comment. Okay. This will be also displayed similar to comment. And protection of sheet. We can give password and we can protect the sheet. We can also protect the workbook by giving the password, allowing the changes, whatever permissions that we have to give, that can be given here. We can hide the ink. Here we have inks, right? So we can hide it. When comments are visible, by clicking on hiding, we can hide those comments. So track changes option, we already discussed about how track changes option can be inserted. Thank you. Thank you all. Hi, welcome to Excel tutorial. In this part, we will be discussing about review tab of Excel. In review tab of Excel, we have different groups like proofing, accessibility, insights, languages, changes, new comment, and different options related to comments, notes, protection of worksheet, and ink. All these are visible to us. Any spelling error is present. Suppose if I take example of okay, it gives different suggestions if there is any error in it. Okay, if I feel that particular spelling is correct, I click on okay. Okay, I know that this is correct, so I'm clicking on ignore once, ignore all. Okay, in this manner, we can go for even Hyderabad. I'm giving it as Hyderabadu. Now if I click on spelling and grammar or F7, what it will do? Different suggestions will be given. Okay. Ignoring all this. It want to check. Then Hyderabad suggestion is given. I am simply clicking on change. The checking is done. In this manner, spelling and grammar is useful for checking any spelling errors in the worksheet. Now coming to the second one, thesaurus. Synonyms, antonyms, different words can be searched here. Suppose if I search for the word BT. Okay. Any word is not found. I am clicking on word. So we got different synonyms, antonyms, and all the information related to the word will be retrieved by using thesaurus. The statistics of workbook, end of sheet, cells with data, number of tables, number of formulas, total number of worksheets, number of cells with data. Okay. In current sheet and total workbook, the data of current sheet and total workbook will be clearly present here. Accessibility. We have accessibility, default sheet names, hard to read text contrast. So different kinds of alternate text is not given here. So whatever accessibility issues we have in the workbook, they will be displayed here. Okay. Then coming to next part. Smart lookup. We can look for different options here and we can search for it. This is just like search box. Translate options. Okay. We can translate into different languages. So English can be translated into language of our choice. Like take example of Hindi, Bengaluru converted. Take example of Telugu then. My mother tongue is translated. Right? In this manner, from one language to another, Spanish. Okay. From one whatever languages available here to those languages, it can be easily changed. Okay, Kannada. Even Tamil. Okay. Different regional and international languages will be available. Translator will change our input into different other languages. But if we make any changes, okay, the changes that we make, view details of who changed what, where and when in this workbook. Okay. To enable this show changes option, it is important to have track changes option in review tab. But generally, this option will not be visible for most of you. Then what you have to do, go to file, go to options. In options, go to customize ribbon. In customize ribbon, select all commands. Then in all commands, search for track changes, which will be present with the T, track changes legacy. Okay, it will be found at bottom. You can see here, track changes legacy will be visible. And we have to insert that. I'm renaming it. One group is created. The group is, I can select any one icon for it. And I'm renaming it as track changes. Okay. Track changes group is added. In that, I'm selecting track changes legacy option, which is already added. So add option is not visible here. I can click on add and automatically it will be added to track changes. So it is visible here now. Okay. Now what I can do, I have to click on highlight changes. Okay. Track changes while editing. This also shares your workbook. Who is doing it, where they are doing it, everything, right? Reference is not valid. Okay. I have to specify the location exactly. I'm not using it. The action will now save the workbook. Do you want to continue? Okay. Okay. Now I'm clicking on the cell and I'm making different changes to it. Now, once the changes are done, so I can track changes in that manner. But when we have shared Excel file, the show changes. The next option is show changes. This is new option of Excel web when you share file online. When different people are given access to make changes, then you can do that. Okay. The next group is comments group. New comment. Suppose when I enter a number, if I want to write a comment for it, I can write a comment like just I'm writing number. Okay. So whenever I place my cursor over there, I can read the comment. Okay. What is the previous comment? What is the next comment? Whatever comments I have. When I think about deleting the comment, all the comments will be displayed. These are the different options related to comments. When we think about writing some note for particular cell or group of cells, that can be done by using comment option. Okay. Notes. If you think about writing a notes, that you can write. This is similar to comment. Okay. This will be also displayed similar to comment. And protection of sheet. We can give password and we can protect the sheet. We can also protect the workbook by giving the password, allowing the changes, whatever permissions that we have to give, that can be given here. We can hide the ink. Here we have inks, right? So we can hide it. When comments are visible, by clicking on hiding, we can hide those comments. So track changes option, we already discussed about how track changes option can be inserted. Thank you. Thank you all.